Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast, adding games both new and old to your backlog, one slightly inappropriate episode at a time. My name is Amanda, and I've got a steel eye for Beyond Steel Sky, whatever the fuck it is. Joining me today, joining me today is Christian.
The letters boggle the mind.
Ooh.
See, it's bad. I was saying before, it's bad. It's bad.
And Taylor.
Hair to hair, sister.
Oh.
What?
What?
I don't know, but we're going to get into it, guys, because this week we're going to be talking about Beyond a Steel Sky, 1000 Times Resist, and Cursed Worlds. But first... Guys, what's new?
Just want to shout out at the top of the show, what's new for me and Taylor and Amanda is also what's new for you, the person listening to this show, wherever you are, doing the dishes, going to work, working. Hello. Nice spreadsheet you have there on screen. Wouldn't it be a shame if you deleted it permanently from Google Drive and just be a little chaotic at work? We're being chaotic too because these episodes always come out on Tuesday. And the thing is, now we record on Thursday. So we have a ton of time before the episode actually releases. And that time kind of sucks because we want sort of this instant feedback of what we're playing, what we're talking about in the news. And we have to wait 5 days before you guys get it. It's too long. I don't want to wait for your guys' feedback when you leave comments or interact with the show. I want something shorter. So these episodes will now be coming out on Sunday. They'll still be there on Tuesday if that's your habit, which for a lot of you it is. And I love that for you. But just so you know, these will release on Sunday. You'll be able to listen to it in Discord. If you are a patron, you'll be able to listen to this a day earlier on Saturday. Hurrah! An audio version without any ads on Patreon. So that's what's new with us, with you. And nothing could be more important.
Nothing has to change in your listening habits if you don't want it to. But think of it like this. You're getting at the show earlier than ever.
Earlier than ever. Yeah.
Earlier than ever.
It's never been this early.
Between episodes, but it's earlier now.
It's earlier. Yeah. Taylor, what's new with you?
So I mentioned my dad last week. He and I have been increasing our gaming talk, and that is awesome. I love getting to talk to my dad about gaming.
Yes.
And this week, he gave me the entire rundown on Windrose. He's been playing Windrose all week. And gave me his own review of its systems and areas that he thinks they can improve. Like, he says it's too easy right now, which I'm like, wow, Dad,
wow.
All right, bragging about your gamer skills.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But does he like it?
He does. He likes it.
Nice.
But there's not enough to it yet. Like enemy variety is low. There's not a ton to do. It's early access. So and he understands that.
And Taylor, can I have a bird walk? Because my mom and my sister are visiting me right now, and my mom just talked to me about 15 minutes about the game Hosey. And I learned, maybe like your dad, that my mom is a pretty big games critic. She's like, the last 2 levels, they kind of recycled some furniture. Hosey is a cozy game about moving in and out of your house. And they recycled some furniture and some puzzles, and they reused some music. And, I was just really disappointed. For $17, I was expecting a lot more. And I was like, Mom.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. I
was like,
getting
get up
all
there.
into like the crafting loop of like, you know what? You got to kill too many pigs to get skins in order to make things.
The pig to skins is way off.
The number is way off. We don't want to be killing pigs all the time.
It's a terrible ROI. Yeah.
Have any of these devs skinned a pig in real life? It's
right.
You get a lot of skin.
But another part that's fun about it is talking to someone about gaming who isn't plugged in to gamer culture or the gamer internet and doesn't browse gaming websites and stuff.
Don't listen to gaming podcasts. Completely.
He's been a gamer. He's an OG PC gamer. Like, started on the Commodore 64. and has
Dang.
gamed his entire life and like did EverQuest and WoW, and like he's a proper gamer, but he's just never been interested in the
Proper
gaming
gamer.
culture side of things.
Properly.
So it's fun to get his view on things. And I also use him as a bit of a barometer of like how well a game's marketing is working.
Yeah.
Like if he comes to me with a game title, it's like that he's excited is coming out soon, then I know it's reaching a broader audience
Nice.
because he's not out there specifically looking these things up.
Yep.
And also just want to shout out to our older listeners of the show. Bobby's birthday is on the 24th, which is the day after we record this episode, but a little bit before you'll actually get to hear the show. But happy birthday, Bobby.
Happy birthday, Bobby.
We miss you. We miss you, bud.
Ugh. And to think he's turning 21. He has his whole life ahead of him, this guy.
Right. We miss you, Bob.
Yeah. Yeah. Have a first drink on us. Or wait. No, don't.
No, don't. Another thing that's kind of what's new with me, but really what's new for y'all is DLG Con officially happening on August 21st to the 24th in Calgary, Alberta. That is the date. That is the place. So now we're just going to find the actual house. We are starting from most expensive to most affordable. There's 3 options in our DLG Con planning channel in Discord that you can vote on, and whatever one you like the most on May 22nd. They're all really good options. They're all in good locations. Thank you to Christian and Ree and all the other locals around that have really helped with like, this neighborhood's great, this neighborhood, I don't want to go there. And so it really nice and helps out so that way that it's cool.
Fuck Hotchkins, dude. No way. Yeah. But one of the houses has pinball machines in it. That one really excites me.
Did you... Cool. Though it has a pinball machine, but also it actually has Mortal Kombat 2 and Mrs. Pac-Man as well. I don't know if you saw that.
That's awesome.
And it has a little kid ship rocket in the room with bunk beds. Who doesn't want to be in the rocket room?
A kid
ship. It's just like it's like a little floating spaceship. It's
like
the Artemis 3.
Yeah,
it's hanging from the ceiling. It's Artemis 3. Climb in it. Just maybe actually don't.
We won't get our damage deposit back. Don't climb in the rocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Fly me to the moon.
Yeah, you could sing that. Yeah, we could bring a little miniature karaoke machine. That'd be fun. But alrighty, DLG Con's happening. If you're interested, come join. It's gonna be seriously such a great time, especially up in Canada. And for any Americans listening, your money's gonna go a long way. Come on up. It's gonna be such a good time. It really will.
Like it's the amount that you'll have to pay towards housing is much less than it has been at previous DLG cons.
The exchange rate, 1.37. Oh geez.
Gosh.
You're getting 69 cents on the dollar for Canada. So your dollar is whatever that percent more valuable, and we'll go percent
our
further.
Dollars are worth more. And but yeah, especially surprising to me was the amount per person, the average amount per person per room cost was like way more, like especially compared to like San Diego.
Even Wisconsin, it's like, this is cheaper than Wisconsin, and then on top of it, people's conversion rates are really working in their favor.
Yeah.
But I think as a baseline, it's actually just cheaper, so it's awesome, and it's gonna be fun. So
come to Canada.
And flights to Canada or to Calgary are not as expensive as you might think from a lot of major American airports. Just so you know.
And if you're Canadian, like I'm sick of listening to all this American talk, come on over to Alberta. It's going to be a fun time.
Put your money where your mouth is. Yeah. And DLG Con is just a festival. Can we call it that? A get together. Maybe that's more appropriate.
Get together.
A get together.
It's definitely not a convention.
Yeah. A get together of honestly our close friends that listen to the show and are part of the community. Usually we play board games, drink, make some food together, just have lots of fun gaming and talking and being merry, being fun and dumb nerds. I think that is probably the top line there. So
bring the Steam decks.
It's
and
so rare too for online communities to have IRL meetups like we do. Like
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that really sets us apart from other
Special.
podcasts.
I agree. It is special. But getting into the video games, I'm really interested in... Taylor, what did you play? Well, I know what you played. 1000 Resist. How was it? Again.
So I just finished it, and there are multiple endings, and I haven't done each individual ending, but I will say the second half of the game remains just as compelling as the first half. If not
So good to
more
hear.
So.
Oh, great.
Nice.
So last week I talked about how there was this big reveal and that like changed everything. So so first you kill you as a watcher kill the All-Mother or Iris, which is like this big event that happens, right? And then we get this perspective shift after Watcher was captured, and now we're playing as a whole new character named Blue. And this is a couple of years after the death of All-Mother, when the provisional government has taken control, and they're authoritarian as hell. There's all these like red suited guys, or well, there's no guys, but there's all these red suited shells with guns, and some of the older clones are committing suicide, quote unquote, or
Jeffrey Epstein
having
style
accidents, that kind of thing. So things are really not good. And Blue is a miscellaneous shell, which means she's not assigned a color at all, and they are treated the worst of the bunch, and they're restricted to only Old Town, which is set up to be like a Chinatown.
Okay.
But they're kind of locked away from the rest of the compound that everyone lives in, and just have less rights, etc. They're beat up on more, looked down upon, and Blue ends up getting like involved in this plot against the provisional government, where several factions have come together to destroy the provisional government. And the way that they do it is they use Blue, who's the new bartender, which means she gets access to the upper level, and to plant a bomb at the yearly play that the High Minister holds, which is it's a super weird retelling of the story of the death of the All-Mother and stuff. And it's a revisionist history, and it's just bizarre. So you work while you're working the bar the night before, or the night of the play. Each different faction comes and drops off a piece of the bomb, and then you get to go and you go knowingly to the play to blow it up, and you're pretty sure you're gonna die too. Like you're sacrificing yourself for a chance at liberation. So you're kind of become radicalized, right? Then you end up surviving the bombing, and as you're escaping, some of these characters from the first half of the game that you thought were, one of whom you thought was dead as a result of your actions as Watcher, and then a couple others that were part of the main 5 sisters, that are the main 5 functions that you had been told had already been hunted down. Turned out they were alive and hiding in the tunnels. They rescue you as you escape from the bombing, and you end up in this communion with the still alive Watcher. So this is quite a few years. Like Watcher had been imprisoned drugged, and like they tried to force false confessions out of her and tortured her, and it elevated to the point where her eyes were actually gouged out.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
She can
so
no
she was,
longer watch.
yeah, she was a watcher who couldn't watch
Amanda,
anymore.
I'm just checking. Is this seems like such rich world building, but I feel like I'm hearing someone tell me the plot of like Lord of the Rings, but I don't have like what is an orc? Like I don't
Oh
know.
yeah,
I'm a little like uh I just
all their
can't quite follow it
terminology.
yet.
We're
You
out of the
need
loop. Yeah.
It's hard too. It was super confusing at first, but the way that they build it up in the game, it's
I'm
so
sure it's
organic, and
amazing.
it
Yeah.
just like all these things start to have meaning, and their meaning changes as you play. But
Mm.
what I'm the big one of the big reveals was not only is Watcher alive, but a large chunk of the game you've been playing up to that point has actually been Blue, you as Blue, in communion with Watcher. So that was
Oh.
just like a total mind-blowing moment, because so you were experiencing Watcher's memories as of, or the memories she had of her observing the All Mother's memories.
Oh
So it's
my
like you're
God.
like
Oh,
multiple layers
wow.
deep at this
Yeah.
point. And
That's
that just
such good
totally just like,
storytelling.
Have
Yeah.
you watched Lost, Taylor?
some of it. I didn't finish it.
Okay, never mind then. I was thinking like, how deep does this go, and does it actually have a satisfying end? Because sometimes when this happens, your mind
Right.
is blown multiple times, but it doesn't like end up tying
I
together in
will
a
say
satisfying
that
way.
this ties together very satisfyingly.
Oh,
Okay,
lovely.
sweet.
Good to
But
hear.
no, it was total mind blow. One after another. Like, oh, Watcher's still alive? What the heck? Oh, I'm in communion with her. Oh, I've been in communion with her for a while now. Like, whoa! Just total mind blowing moment, one after another.
Yeah.
Including like lots of these emotional moments too, as you've grown, or as I've grown attached to the characters. Seeing their suffering, like seeing how Watcher was treated as she was tortured and had her eyes gouged out. That was in first person.
Oh, crazy.
So it was really effective at showing the horror of it all. And,
Mm.
this is not a violent game necessarily. There's not a lot of people shooting each other until you start playing as Blue, and then there's a couple of deaths. But violence is rarely the solution to most problems in this society. So when it does occur, it's shocking,
Mm.
So they use these acts of violence really effectively. Um, I ended up crying, like I said, multiple sections, but the main thing that really got to me was at several points you go back to Iris's parents in their apartment
Mm.
after Iris left. She was taken by the government. And after this pandemic had already killed basically the whole city. So it's just her parents left in their apartment alone. Their neighbors have already died. They have to go out on scavenging runs, that kind of thing. And you get in peeks at their conversations. You see their hope at the start, the first couple of days of isolation. And then you see them begin to fight with each other as they lose hope and butt heads and dispute each other's ideologies, etc. Then they start making videotapes for if Iris ever does come back to the house at some point in the future, all the way to the father commits suicide.
Oh my
by
God, dude.
jumping off the balcony. And I mean, I
Jesus.
just,
Yeah.
it was so emotional and so affecting.
Isn't that so
Yeah.
great though? Like if you, I'm sorry, this is going to be a little bit, but if you have known someone in your life who has passed, it's so rare that the moment you hear, the moment it happens, the gravity of what happens hits you, and yet when we absorb this through art, it happens at exactly the same time. We have
Mhm.
the terrible thing happened and our reaction and understanding of why that matters, because it's been curated through the whole experience of what we're
Good
watching.
point. Yeah.
And to merge those things together, I think is so honestly powerful. It's like an emotion that we wouldn't have in real life that we can now have access to.
Yeah, like when my mother died, it didn't like sink in right away like that, for sure. It was definitely a much more delayed reaction. And that's such an interesting point that that media can kind of cause that.
Good art will make you
that's such a good point.
feel and see at the same time.
That really helped the impact too was the way they paced it out in between other parts of the story.
Okay,
So you were checking back in with them at various times, and they picked really good moments to show you that. So yeah, it was good art, good acting, voice acting, and also just really good storytelling in the moments they chose to insert it. One of the other things that ends up being a big mind blowing thing is I told you about the secretary companion that you have, this floating thing.
Oh yeah, remind me of like GLaDOS or something.
It lets you do like the communions as watcher and stuff. Well, you find out eventually that that secretary is actually a sprout of the occupants, the aliens, and was given to Iris, or the All-Mother. The three of them were given to her when she started communing with the aliens. So one of the things you find out as watcher is that the All-Mother, one, killed every other human in this underground base they were in, like 1,000 years ago. And she did it by cooperating with the aliens. And so she had hidden that fact. But then, and that obviously makes you despise her. But then you start to see like the toll that it's taken on her and how protective she is of her clones that she views as her children. Because the occupants keep wanting more memories. They like live off of memories, right? And information. And so they constantly have a need for new information. So every week, Iris has to go and commune with them to give them new memories. And they're starting to say, well, your stuff isn't enough. We want your clones' memories too. And the lengths she goes to protect the clones, really shows a whole nother side of her.
This is such a unique world, and that it can still, I don't know, like some worlds can be too strange to feel something, and yet this one feels like it's nailed, making you feel everything while at the same time just being like a really unique setting and idea, a really unique place. Yeah.
Seems like such an
really
impactful
cool
game.
Sci-fi, a unique type of sci-fi, unique type of alien, a unique way of having an apocalyptic world.
I know someone has asked these questions because this game was like lauded as being really, really good a while ago. But like, who made this game? Why did they make it? What were their inspirations? Like, I kind of want to dive a little deeper and just find that out.
I know they've done the dev has done some interviews, and I really want to watch them and see, hear their thoughts.
Interview them. Let's get them on DLG. Interview.
I'd love to interview them. They have a new project coming up. Maybe they're open for it. I'll have to reach out. I'll have to reach out because they're still a small studio, and they're more likely to actually get one of the main devs if they're open to the idea at all.
Yeah.
I can't promise anything, but I'm going to reach out. But yeah, to sum it up though, at the end, you learn there's only one of these occupants left on Earth. They erected a shield around the planet that is strong enough, like when the sun goes supernova, the Earth will be fine. And that this, like, the occupants don't view death in the same way, because they have preserved all the information. So a human being alive or dead means nothing to them because in their mind, a human is still alive in them, in the fact that they have that information still, which is an interesting way of looking at things, and an interesting way for an alien to look at things. But eventually, the secretary merges with this final occupant, takes it over, cooperates with you and the remaining sisters, and Blue gets to hold one final mass communion with all of the sisters to reveal the actual truth of the whole thing, like from the very start, from Iris's childhood all the way to the current day. So all the truth gets laid out to every sister, and then you as Blue are given a choice at the very end as to almost rewrite reality. So there are a number of factions at this point that have broken off, and you can decide whether they are going to be a part of the future or not. Like, will they be erased or will they be left to help rebuild this new society that's going to come? And you could choose to not forgive any of them if you want.
Surely the Reds are out, right? Like they're.
I got rid of the Reds.
Yeah.
And I got rid of the principal, who was the youngest sister, who was the one that was running the bad side, and set up this. Turns out we're all actually clones of her, not Iris. Iris made the original clones, abandoned youngest, and then moved to the other side. And so youngest this whole time has been like focused on revenge and abandonment and negative feelings, and had set up Watcher to kill the All-Mother or kill Iris. So it's all these convoluted machinations that took place over 1,000 years.
This feels like a book I need to read. You know, like this feels like it has the narrative depth and the political angles,
and not a moment is wasted. Like the story, like to play through the game takes like 14 to 20 hours.
Wow.
Depending on if you decide to do all the very minor side content, and how much you kind of explore around, or how long it takes you to read and whatever. But yeah, it's a short game, very focused, and it's shocking how much they put. Like you said, it feels like a Lord of the Rings or some big fantasy or sci-fi series that has its own language and super in-depth world building that they managed to fit into 14 hours of gameplay and storytelling. It's
amazing,
just incredible.
It's wild.
But that is my take on
one of the best games ever made.
Times Resist. It is truly one of the best games I've ever played. One of the best stories I've ever experienced. It's easily in my top 10 video games of all time. Maybe even higher than that. It might even be in my top 5.
Oh, damn.
And this is getting like a 10 out of 10 for me in the story game genre. Like, so if you like visual novels, or if you like story walking simulators, or if you like just narrative driven games with no real action, try
you gotta play this game. You gotta play it.
This is a perfect game.
It's got
in that regard.
Such a glowing review. Such great words. Such amazing things that were said.
And I like your question at the bottom. How do you think a society made up of solely your clones went to? I like
right. That. Yeah, that's my question to you guys. Is after hearing about the game and knowing that it was all clones of one teenage girl, how how do you think a society made up solely of clones of you would turn out?
Of me now, probably fine, probably great. Of me as a teenager, man, that guy could have gone so many different ways. Like that's
Well, one
a
of the things about it would be that each one could be educated differently and have their own functions or tasks or education, right? Like they
yeah.
wouldn't all be perfect copies of you. They would generate their own experiences and their own thoughts. Like as we see in the game, not every clone is the same.
I think right now, if I was cloned, I have the base programming that no matter what I tackle or learn, like clones of me, they'd probably come together and make a pretty good society. But I can't say the same as young me, right? Like,
Right.
I was much more malleable. I didn't know anything, like anyone who's
The
growing up in the
teenage
world.
Christian,
Yeah,
that society falls apart.
yeah, totally. Yeah, that society is headed for issues around 24. Serious issues. Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. What about
Amanda?
you, Amanda?
I feel like for me, almost, I would want to believe that, like, actually, like, younger me in a society of clones would almost be better and more cohesive.
Ooh.
Whereas me now would be like maybe more aloof and like in the woods, and then it'd be just like nomadic. Like it'd be more of like a nomadic
Uh-huh.
society and like get away from me kind of thing. Whereas like younger me would be like all about connecting and connectivity and interactions and talking to people. In both societies, nobody would be able to get a word in. That's probably for sure.
For me, I'm thinking like obviously younger me society, like you, Christian, falls apart. Younger me had some crazy ideas. And for older me, one of the things I'd be most interested in is the variety of like psychosis that appears. Like all the different types of voices that would appear. 'Cause they wouldn't all be the same as mine, obviously.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Taylor, I don't think
so
you've talked about that on this podcast before.
have I not?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if
well,
you do or don't, but you kind of just
I
did a
talked
little
about
bit.
it in the Discord a fair amount, at least.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Or okay.
well, we don't need to get deep in. I don't mind talking about it, but yeah, I have this I have schizoaffective disorder, which means I hear voices. It's like schizophrenia mixed with bipolar, and I've had it since I was 19.
And I love that one of the cool things is to see all the different voices you could hear. That's so fun. Like
that would be so fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. I find people there's like a dark humor side to the different sort of effects that people can have on
You
them.
have to cope.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Like, I've met plenty of other people with my diagnosis going to hospitals and therapy and such. And dark humor is always present.
Yeah.
Like I said, it helps cope.
Yeah. And it's generally welcome from other people too. One of the things that gets annoying is when people get too afraid to like say something, and treat you totally differently rather than just treating you like a normal person. But like my close friends and family can joke along with me, and that helps more than someone who's too afraid to say anything.
Yeah. Take that, wokers. No, just joking. Nothing to do with it.
Hey, watch your words. They might be cursed. Christian, what did you play?
So I played a game called Cursed Words, which, by the way, great segue. Like top 10 segues of all time.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So Cursed Words has cured my disdain for these number go up games that can oftentimes feel like you're playing a slot machine, and like really the worst of the slot machine. with the jingles, right? The jingles, the colors on screen,
pop-ups, and the flashing lights, and
yeah, like Nine Kings or even Balatro, like a lot of these roguelite number go up games, prey on your baser instincts, and they can be, I mean, they are exceptionally fun, right? It's great to see that number go up, to get the synergies, to always be upgrading your deck or your hand or whatever you're doing. But this game is if Boggle and Balatro had a baby. So if you don't know what Boggle is, you shake a little tray of letters and you make the best words that appear. So it's like a mobile Scrabble, essentially, that you bring to the beach.
Are you about to be so good at Wordle because this is just helping you play into this?
That's my secret strategy.
I see.
Yeah. So, yeah, Boggle's like travel Scrabble. Balatro's like crack cocaine. And what got me about this game is in the description it says, start with simple words like buy or this or game.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that.
I love when people have fun on their store page, and it just shows
more devs should have fun on their store page.
A little personality, a little creativity, I feel like goes a long way.
It does.
Of course, then this game gets into the roguelike part where you upgrade your letters, you upgrade certain types of words. Like,
how do you upgrade a letter?
It's just like Q is worth 3 instead of 2 now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you know the drill, like all these sort of roguelike number go up games. You buy a lollipop item and all the words that start with B are times 2. It's like, it's typical stuff, right? In Balatro, you have the moons and the planets, and they do all sorts of stuff when you buy them for your deck. And with those games, I feel like they're pretty mind-numbing, which can be really nice if that's the mindset that you're in. You've had a hard day of work, you just want to chill, and you want some sort of challenge. But this combines the skill of finding letters everywhere. And, you know, my father-in-law loves Boggle. He brings it to the beach whenever we go.
The beach?
Well, we live in a landlocked province, so beaches on lakes. We call the beach. There's sand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still a strange place to bring Boggle in my mind.
Really? No, it's like the best place ever. It's funny. Today, Mara went to the pool. We were like, how was the pool, Mara? Mara's my daughter. And she says, I love the ocean.
That's so cute.
You're from a prairie province. That is the ocean. The pool is the ocean. The pool is the ocean. The lake is the beach. And if you've played with someone who's really good at Scrabble or really good with Boggle, you know it's a skill. You know that there's a certain amount of time and they use a methodology to find words, or they've done it so much they know exactly what to look for. And so my father-in-law can generate 30 words by the time I've gotten 10. Like, he's so good.
Wow.
And so when I'm playing this game, instead of, you know, combining the 2 with the 3 or the black suit with the red suit in Balatro, I'm finding vocabulary, and that just feels better from a challenge to my brain standpoint, right? So I think the trick with these games, what I would like to see more of them do, is combine something a little bit more useful or a little bit more friction in my brain, so that it's a little bit less zen, but when you get it, it's more payoff. Because it feels great to get like an 8-letter word, but it just takes longer than making a run of jokers, right?
Well, and it's building up your vocabulary. It's helping you those neural pathways in your brain.
It's going to help me on the beach, Taylor, for sure. I'm going to put my father-in-law to. I've been training and cursed words.
But I see what you mean in terms of like, making it something that is rewarding in some other way than just pure like, oh, the number went up for no other reason.
And to be clear, the number here does go up, right? At the end of the day, this is a number go up game, but it is nice to have the vocabulary put in. And maybe it's just because I have been playing so much Wordle lately that I'm like, oh yes, this is very satisfying when I can find these letters.
I love playing words with friends.
Yes. Boggle, I feel like we should bring to DLG Con. Boggle's a big hit, guys. Boggle's fucking fun as shit. Okay.
I like Boggle.
Bring it.
I like Boggle too.
So the best words that I've made in this game, is Ziz and Donna. And I just was wondering if you guys knew what those were.
Ziz and Donna. Donna feels like a name to me, and as such shouldn't be an allowed word, but I'm guessing it has some meaning beyond the name.
Yep.
Ziz, I don't know. That's new to me.
Any guesses, Amanda?
My guess is that Ziz would be like adding a little, it's almost like adding a little bit of a star factor, adding a little bit of like
Adding
zhuzh
some
or
zizz.
spice. Yeah,
I
like it makes
love
me think
that.
of Riz.
That's a great
or,
way.
Yeah,
That's a great
like,
one.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking it's probably like some old like medieval English word that still is around for some reason, and it like would be in the context of some obscure profession that no longer
Yeah.
exists.
See,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
almost argue
You
that
know,
that's
like,
more of a
or
Donna.
like a brewer. You know, the brewer needs the right level of
zizz.
in his brew. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then they go, quick, go to the wench and go grab the Donna.
Yeah.
Go grab the Donna.
The
Okay,
Donna.
so if it's a capitalized letter, it is an Italian title of respect. So Donna.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. It's also more, if it's a lowercase, it's not a title of respect. It's just a casual word for any Italian lady. So it's
An Italian lady.
in general, it's a pretty
A Donna.
a Donna. It's a
Damn.
pretty.
It made me think of a Nona, like a
So,
like a grandma,
yeah,
but an
Nona.
aunt is what I would have, like a Donna, your
Right.
Aunt Donna.
Yeah.
So
And-
close.
Okay, and Ziz?
And Ziz is a short sleep or a nap, which I'm going to use all the time. man.
Ah,
A
nice.
short sleep or a nap.
Get you
I'm
with
just
this.
I'm going for a
I'm gonna
Ziz.
take a quick Ziz.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of dirty, but
It does. It
I
does
like
sound-
it. I'm gonna start using that.
It's a spicy
Yeah.
nap.
Have a power Ziz.
Powers is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It does sound like you're up to no good. Like I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
Ziz. You're like, are you just sleeping? I
A
don't know. what
Ziz,
you're
I
doing.
feel like, is a short nap at like when you shouldn't be having one. Like at work
I'm
or
sneaking
something.
off for a Ziz.
Ah,
I like that.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, let's get to the star of the show. Enough of zizzing and donning. Amanda, what did you
Sizzing and
play?
donning. Oh man. Okay, I gotta put a disclaimer with this game. We're gonna start off. The game's called Beyond a Steel Sky, and full disclosure, you guys have Christian to thank for sure, because I booted up this game on my Steam Deck. I was like, I can't wait. It's cyberpunky with comic books. I feel like I'm gonna love it. And within the first like 5 minutes of the comic book scenes, I'm like, yo, the voice acting is trash, and I hate the writing. This is terrible. And I shut it down, and I was like ready to be like, no, not interested in this game at all. And then I was becoming what I hate. I don't like that when people like boot up a game and are like, it's garbage, or they're like, I love it, and they haven't put any time in. And so thank you, Christian, for
like
reminding
those-
me
I
that
hate
like,
those
yeah, we don't want to
Steam
become those
reviews.
people. Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, like to be fair, I think if you are out there and you pick up a game for 5 minutes, you don't like it and you return it, that's fine. But if then you leave a review,
Yeah.
that is
That's
crossing.
crossing the line.
You have
Exactly.
become dumb. You have become dumb.
If it's under an hour, don't leave a review.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, it
I-
depends on,
like
depends
an
on the
hour
game,
even
but-
feels too short, but
Yeah. So I couldn't in good conscience give an accurate read of this game based off of 5 minutes. So 5 hours later, which for the record, it takes 10 hours to beat this game. So you could argue that I've gone halfway through it. I still really fucking dislike it.
I just tortured you for no reason. I love
Do
it.
you
No, okay,
dislike
but let
it
me get into it.
to the same degree as you did at first, or do you dislike it in a different way?
So it surprised me. Yes and no. I'll get into it. It's a little,
Okay.
she's complicated. Anyway, so
Ooh.
this
Ooh.
game is a very highly stylized, like point and click adventure where when you are walking around some of the scenes, most of the scenes, and a lot of the gaming, and especially after 5 minutes, it actually reminds me of Borderlands, where I'm walking around and exploring things, and the artwork's really cool that way. And so at first I was like, oh, maybe I definitely judged this too wrong, and I'm going to love this. And then more voice acting came in and was like, no, it's not for me. So anyway,
that's tragic.
This game is kind of set in like this somewhat, like I said, walking simulator, point and click adventure. The puzzles, the figuring out things are totally like they're kid coded almost. They're so easy. I wouldn't say this game is for children though. It's got a lot more darker themes to it, I suppose. But even then, everything feels like it's way too easy, way too casual. It's like it's like stupidly obvious of where you need to go, what you need to do, which kind of takes the fun out of it. But it is a little bit more than just some sort of visual novel, right? But they have, it's basically this story that is a continuation as well after the 1994 game called Beneath a Steel Sky. So you are beyond a steel sky instead of beneath it. And I feel like, I wonder if I would have appreciated this game more had I actually played Beneath a Steel Sky. Because I feel like a lot of games like High on Life 2, the other Borderlands, like you don't really need to play the ones before them to like get it, but there were a lot of moments in this game where I was like,
the 94 game shows its age a lot. It would be hard to get into today.
Yeah, but I feel like if I had played it, I probably would have appreciated this game so much more, at least for that just kind of bridging the gap. But they do, and if you play this second game, they give a lot of spoilers from the first one. So I felt this like weird combo of like being kind of out of the loop and not really understanding the full context, and yet knowing that they were like disgustingly like spoiling big things and going over it. So it was kind of like, I don't really feel like I need to go back, but I probably would have appreciated this game more had I started with that instead of the one I have now. You follow this guy named Robert Foster who, like, this kid gets kidnapped by a big robot dog looking thing. And so you go after trying to find this kid. You're in the wasteland. It reminds me so much of like Snow Crash, like that story, that setting. Like I was expecting like a pizza delivery, like robot to come out of nowhere and just like shove pizza in my mouth with a VR headset. There's a very dystopian, like cyberpunky Mad Max Borderlands vibe to it, which I did like that. But again, it's just it's missing so much depth. I felt like it's just I felt like the art style was super cool. I felt like they really marketed this towards like a conversation about a post AI world, or when AI's go, like I felt like AI and having this cyberpunk AI world was such a huge driving factor of this game, and it's like lukewarm at best what they're covering. Like this whole game feels like you're a dude trying to find a kid that was put into a machine, and like that's the point. And then there's like little tiny tidbits where there's things like QDOS points where this woman like finds out that her husband is dead, and she instantly is like, oh, my QDOS points are going to drop. I need to do damage control on social media, because if you start not feeling happy, your QDOS points start diminishing. And it's kind of like a credit score, or like there was
social credit score.
It's social credit score. Yeah, it reminded me of like Black Mirror and like what, you know, your social standings impacted so many things. And so like I felt like they were like kind of there. It was like close, like there was a lot of effort put into the game, and yet they like just missed the mark. And especially in ways of like the dialogue and the writing, because there were all these like kinds of times where you're talking with people, and I've noticed that it would still, the options would still be highlighted if there were more things to talk about. So like maybe they had a moment, like I kept asking everybody about this dog, this monster. That's what they were calling this robot, right? And for some people it was robot. So then you would whatever select dog, and then your guy would ask like, describe what this dog was like again. And then they talk about it, and then it would usually like gray out, hash out like you've already done that, right? Well,
there's no unique response next.
Yeah, and not only that, like sometimes it wasn't grayed out, and when you selected it, it actually said a whole nother thing, which was, I thought,
Right.
interesting, but that was super inconsistent because then sometimes, and many times, it would be almost the same thing, just the syntax of the sentence was slightly different, and I'm
They
like,
used
you
AI to
already...
write, and I was joking.
No, well, they didn't because it came out, I think, in 2020, so, like, yeah, but it's...
That's so weird, though, that it would be the same sentence essentially, just with slightly different syntax.
Yeah, and it would be on like
Like,
the
why
dumbest
include that?
things. That's what I mean. So there were these like really lazy, almost maybe lazy, maybe I'm being harsh with that, but like these like misses that I felt in the writing. And so I just didn't like it. And the voice acting was like brutal, I felt, because while it was cool that a part of the story is basically that Australian and British immigrants built the entire cyberpunk city, so you did hear a lot of like British and Australian accents, and there would be like one or a few people who they were pretty good, but most people, like, I felt like they couldn't pick an accent. Like, it was so weird. It was just like very bizarre. I was like, okay, one moment we're Australian and the next moment we're Irish. Cool. Like, and so
Do you
it
think it would
just...
be better with just no voice acting?
Yeah, I remember going through it being like,
Wow.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would have preferred no voice acting with this.
And I
You know,
turn
but
it off
the...
in settings. Yeah,
Right,
crazy.
but I mean, but at the same time, like the narrator actually was not very bad. There is a there was like a kind of auditor basically going through like asking you these questions. That guy's voice acting was actually pretty solid. So like they had it there, but then there's also, like I said, I think it's so much of the writing was just a miss. Like some of the things that really stood out to me, it was like you're standing there looking at a picture, and this person stands up from sitting like meters, feet away from you, bumps into you and goes, "Hey buddy, watch where you're going, you moron. You didn't even look up to see that you ran into me." And it's like, well, I could clearly see that you walked into me. And then, so then your only option is to ask them, "Who are you?" And they go, "I'm your mama, moron." And I'm like, what? It
That's
felt
like
so
some middle
awkward.
school level.
To be fair, that happens in real life. Okay, one time I was trying to get behind someone in an aisle, and I had a baby on my chest. I was wearing Mara when I think she was like 6 months or something. She was sleeping, and I had the baby backpack on, and I was in the store because I think Rianne was sick, and so I had to get some medication. And this lady is just whatever. She's taking her time in the aisle, and that's fine. But I said, "Hey, I'm just gonna move around you if that's
Let me
okay."
just scooch past you there.
Yeah, and so she slightly turns, like barely, not at all, and I go past her, and I brush Mara up against her, and my backpack goes behind me, and it like kind of knocks some stuff on the shelf back, not on the floor, just back. And she hits me with the ugh, and I'm like, oh, there's people like this in the world who are living. So maybe, Amanda, you just ran into someone.
Rude.
No, I mean, that's so unfortunate that there's somebody like that. But I think if you were in this game and she was, what it would be is that you were standing in line with Mara, and then she would be walking to leave, and then just turn around and knock into you and go, ugh. Like, that's a little bit more of what would happen. Because it's so out of left. Yeah, and then be like, "I'm your mama, moron," and then walk away. Like, that's more of it. It was so, like, random
That would be so
and
funny.
dumb. The writing is just bad. Like, because there's things, too, where the narrator, like, that they would just leave it obscured. It'd be like, "Oh, well, you need to go and deliver, like, mini Ks." And you're like, "What's a mini K?" And they just like literally don't talk about it. But then when you go up to touch a button, you go to examine it, and a narrator all of a sudden comes in and he's like, "And you look at the button. It's probably something you would touch." And I'm like, wow, thanks for that, dude.
So-
what the fuck's a mini K though?
I'm a
So
man.
the world building's not there.
I think in
Amanda-
a way I think it is. I just don't think that they're delivering it properly, I guess.
It
I'm
has
sorry,
a
Christian,
banner on
yeah.
the Steam page that says "Now with developer commentary," and I want to know: did you have that on or off?
Yes. I feel like you should have had it
Oh.
on.
I should have had it on. I actually don't know how to find that because, yeah, some of the things, again, like it was so weird. It's like when maybe they needed better playtesters, actually, because like some of the things might have been caught as being like convoluted or confusing.
It sounds like this game didn't have much of a budget.
That's true. Yeah, I could see that.
If the voice acting is this bad, and you're saying it's like flat, or like a high schooler reading out loud to kids, that kind of vibe, that means that they were amateur voice actors, and or like members of the studio.
Yeah.
So what really interested me about this game, and why I even asked Amanda to please give it a second chance if she was going to bring it up on the show, was because it had an 87% positive review on Steam. But when I went to the reviews, this has never happened to me before. I go to the reviews, the positive reviews, and they are almost all negative.
Yeah.
Really?
They're like
so they had they were positive, but what was written was negative?
I would say people's reception to this game was mixed, and maybe a bit more positive than negative. This is like a rough diamond for, I think, a lot of people who probably played the original game, from what I could gather from reading the reviews. But it had a lot of problems, even for those people. And they listed them. Quite a few of them listed a lot of them, actually. Yeah. And I've never seen that before, where a game is 87%, but a lot of the positive reviews are mixed reviews, essentially.
I did the same thing. I can't remember if I wrote this in my notes or in like my pre-notes.
Game was fun. Gameplay was okay. Hated the story. Positive review.
Yeah. Because it had me like tripping up for a second. Like, I think I literally wrote somewhere in one of my notes, like, is it me? Am I the problem? Because I also looked at the reviews and was like, why is it rated so positively? Like, maybe I don't get it. And then I started reading them and I was like, oh, yeah.
Like, how popular the 1994 game was. Like, was that a big hit back then?
Right. And it had big shoes to fill, nostalgia to...
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to like this because the art style is cool, and like I always love like kind of a comic book moment in a game, especially that's more adventure. And I do feel like they have a decent amount of world building that they could go off of, actually, because Union City was cool. Like they're getting around in the little monopods that they had where you're flying around the city, and like some of the things that they set up, the different like the like very wink wink nudge nudge like 1984 Orwellian kind of vibe of like all these civic things are watching you, and the moment you stop showing up or don't deliver, like all of a sudden now they're checking in on you. I'm just concerned about you. Let's take you to the rehabilitation spa. Like that is like that's some good shit. So it's just like, man, and it fell flat. So you know what? It seems a little half baked, like my very first attempt at playing this, but I went back, baked it a little more, and went, nah, the souffle didn't rise. So it's okay. It happens, you know. I think we've all been there where we went into a game and
negative QDOS points.
Yeah, well, you know, I started in the negative. Yes. So to get some better QDOS points, here are some better comic book games that I have played that will make you happier than this one. Like Hank Drowning on Dry Land, or Cut to the Core, or if you just like the style, Borderlands is pretty good. I didn't play these ones, but I'm gonna give a review about them, you know, to be that people. I hear they're well rated, so Ultimate Spider-Man and High Five Rush are pretty solid as well if you wanted a comic book game. But
and well rated, not well rated, mixed rated.
Not well rated in the thumbs up. But
a narrative game that is mainly about storytelling, play 1,000 times Resist.
The best game ever made.
Game ever.
Or if you want a really good story in a cyberpunk world, play Cyberpunk.
Yeah, with good voice acting and great writing that really comes through. Yeah.
Right. But it did make me think a little bit about AI and its alignment and things like that. It
sounds like it wasn't even that much about AI.
No, I think it was 2020's idea of what AI was, which is just basically an algorithm. I think like what they thought Instagram and TikTok's algorithm was AI. Yeah, and so it was just missing the moment. But I just wanted to take another moment to say fuck Krafton. It's a lawful evil company, right, for AI. Can we just agree?
Crafton
No.
Sorry,
is
what is the
evil.
game? What are we doing? We're rating
I don't know.
companies on their AI.
No. I wanted to make like an AI alignment chart. Because I think it would be helpful one day
Right.
to do that, but that might have to be for another time
Lawful
or in the
good
show notes.
is medical purposes to like to cure cancer.
Yeah. I agree.
Lawful evil is for insurance companies to figure out the exact amount they can raise your premiums without you canceling.
And I would also say using ChatGPT to figure out how you can fuck over the developers making your game, which is exactly why I put Crafton right there. Anyway.
That's so funny.
The fact that he used AI instead of his lawyers
stupid
to sue is so nuts to me. It
It's
just
all
goes
goofy,
to show
dude.
you don't have to be smart to be a CEO and rich.
I think we know that.
Some people just luck their way into it.
Totally.
We
What
have
would be
people
a
out there with their whole
neutral
butt.
a neutral
neutral
AI?
Is like AI. A 21-year-old uses AI to write a poem for themselves.
Okay.
Okay. Something just for yourself.
Just for yourself.
I think just
what
for
about
your
like using it as an AI companion?
No, chaotic evil.
Yeah,
shit.
I would also
I've
say
seen
chaotic
her.
evil. Yeah.
It's heartbreak the whole way down.
Yeah. And
Maybe-
delusional thinking.
I think chaotic good would be something like help using AI to help you build better resumes and like better job
Or-
opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
Or using it to better organize protest movements and resistance to authoritarian governments.
You have like 5 AI agents whose sole job is to put like junk requests in at the federal government's report
or
illegal site or
AI
something.
To just flood the government with Freedom of Information Act requests, or gum up the works in some way.
Yeah.
Or to repeatedly call your senator.
Like some V for Vendetta stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
like,
you'd be using AI to go
that's
against.
chaotic good.
Yeah, and you're using the AI to go against the lawful evil insurance companies' AIs.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you use AI to fuck with Crafton.
Yes. Love that. That's great chaotic good. Where would you guys put on the alignment chart using Claude or AI to help like diagnose issues that you have in your PC and help fix your PC?
Neutral. I think that's
neutral. Yeah.
I think it's neither good nor bad. You know.
I think that it can be misleading, and give you wrong answers sometimes, which is not great. And I think overall, using things like Claude is they're too self-affirming or to the user.
It's danger.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some danger.
They're like, yes, please, you should delete System 32. You don't need that. But
yes, deleting System 32 is a great idea.
Wow.
It's like I'm in a CSGO lobby in
from that,
2007.
Yeah, don't do that, guys. So anyway, moving on from that was the show, you know, Steel Vision for Beyond a Steel Sky. But moving along to what games do we want to play? Christian, leading with you.
So let's run through this. Let's keep it quick. Masters of Albion. Albion? Oh God, I'm already stumbling. Albion?
I think it's Albion. I don't know.
Albion. It sounds like Albion later to play.
Albion. Masters of something. Peter Molyneux's God game where you build a town, but you can also pull the little pants down on your townspeople. Just like, oh, see your butt crack there. Just pulled. Not wearing underwear. Little woodcutter. The graphics are sort of like this.
God hand.
With your God hand, yeah. The famous God hand. The minute you see it, you'll recognize it from black and white. Graphics are sort of like a pop-up storybook, and the buildings look like toy models. It's got a really cool look. I think that pulled me in as much as the God game
aesthetic.
part of it. Yeah, just the aesthetic is just nailed. Because of course you want that sort of thing. because it just
Some
enforces the
whimsy.
genre. Yeah, a little bit of whimsical, but also like these little models and little sort of almost like claymation. It begs you to touch it with your hand and poke at it,
Right.
and yeah. So it's fully customizable, like everything in the game. I think that's its claim to fame. So like the roofs on your houses are customizable, and it goes all the way to like the shoes of your people, the meals your
Wow.
people eat. It's very involved, and it's currently in mixed on Steam. And I think
Oh.
kind of like Crown of Greed, which was mixed, and I think JBet Quest, one of our listeners, posted in Discord, "Hey, Crown of Greed is actually doing some really cool things, and I'm enjoying it." Whenever I see mixed on a highly anticipated game, I think, okay, perhaps something interesting is going on here where they took a creative risk. Some people are responding to it, some people are not. And obviously, it's very clear from the store page and the trailer and everything that they're taking a huge creative swing at both city builders and God games with this game. And so I want to play this. I want to play it a lot. I'm really excited to, despite the mixed reviews. And I can't wait to talk about it. So yeah, can't wait.
Looks
I'm
fun.
super interested in what this turns out to be and what your thoughts are, Christian. And always curious whenever Peter Molyneux has a new project and whatever he's cooking in that weird brain of his. Because he's had some real bangers and he's had some real letdowns, but he's always been a big thinker.
Yeah.
He tends to way over promise, but you can tell he's not doing it to like be greedy. And he's doing it because he's that passionate about ideas.
I know I said let's go through this quick. I just want to really quickly read this negative review. You see the trailer. It's a God game. How exciting. Well, think again. The game introduces you to the God system by forcing you to make sandwiches. Yep. For some reason, the game is all about food making. Dude, I cannot tell you how fucking exciting that makes me. What? You're telling me that this is taking the expectations of the genre and giving me something unique and exciting to do? For a lot of people, that's going to be bad. But for me, I couldn't be more excited to learn that I'm going to be making fucking sandwiches in this game.
This one says it's a really crappy cooking game with some light tower defense thrown in to pretend it's not.
Christian's like, I can't wait to depants one of my people, and then I'm gonna make a sandwich about it and call it the Pantsless Sailor.
Yeah, the Pantsless access. Keep in mind, super early access just came out on yesterday into early access. So, and I don't know how long they plan to be in early access, but just
Taylor,
keep that in mind.
Your game that you want to play, famously short and compact.
Rimworld. Yeah. A classic of the colony sim genre. You set conditions and watch your colony of people go about it on their own, live their little lives, and you intervene when necessary and when defending against enemy attacks. I don't have much experience in the colony sim genre. I've done city builders and such, but never colony sims. So I figure if I'm going to get into colony sims, give them a shot, going with one of the most popular ones makes sense. Plus, my sister keeps recommending this to me over and over and over, and I should finally just get it.
It's one of the best.
Talk to her about it because she's been recommending Rimworld to me for like 5 years at this point, and she keeps saying like, Taylor, when are you gonna buy Rimworld? We got to talk about Rimworld, Taylor. So I need to just get it.
Great.
Nice. The game that I'm really excited to try and check out is Mouse PI for Hire. It just recently came out. It's this old-timey 1930s, think of like the OG Mickey Mouse and Tom and Jerry cartoons. But it's a detective game. Yeah, but it's a detective game where you are a private investigator named Jack Peppa. That's how I hear it in my head. It's Jack Peppa. But it's
Jack Peppa, yeah.
Hey, Jack Peppa,
Jack Peppa, you got any of that zits? Get any of that zits?
Hey, Donna. Hey, get over here.
Hey.
Hey, it's a sign of respect.
Right. So it's fueled with jazz and inspiration from classic cartoons from the 1930s and lots of explosions, guns, and all kinds of stuff. So I'm hoping that this runs awesome on the Steam Deck. And if it don't, that's fine, because when I come back, I'm going to play a bunch of it too, because I feel like it's going to be a good mix between that shooter.
What genre is this game?
It's a first-person shooter, kind of a boomer shooter as well. Apparently, it's a little deeper than just a boomer shooter. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun.
With the PI for hire, I wasn't immediately thinking boomer shooter. I was thinking like some kind of choices matter game. But
I don't know if there's part of that, but it's also a detective game, so I'd imagine there's got to be some choices, even if it's, do I shoot this guy?
Investigation.
Yeah.
You're going to find your Donnas one way or another.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be taking lots of, what is it? Zizzes on the job. Zizzes on the job.
No, you're going to be making some guys take a permanent ziz.
Permanent zizzes. Permanent zizzes.
Sleep with the Donnas.
Sleep with the Donnas. All right, guys. That's a show. So, but what's our community up to?
Listener questions we have from last week. Azales. We didn't get to your question.
Aziels.
Oh.
Is it Aziels?
I can't pronounce one fucking word right. Whatever I say is the way going forward.
Cool.
Because I'm always wrong. Okay. So, and to tie in with that, I had a couple heavy things come up in life recently. Are there any games that you fall back to as comfort or for coping? It's not healthy, but for me, Insurgency Sandstorm is my comfort game. I could play that game probably blindfolded multiplayer. I just love it. Mm-hmm. And I have so many hours into it. And if you see me launch that game, if you're my friend on Steam or you see it on Discord that I'm playing, just know that I'm going through hard times. Okay. Right. Just know that everything upstairs is not okay. And I am playing Insurgency Sandstorm. Yes. How about you guys?
For me, that game, your Insurgency Sandstorm for me is League of Legends.
Nice.
That is I'm not doing so great mentally, and now I'm playing a super toxic multiplayer game.
Which should definitely make things better, of course.
Yeah.
Mine is when I stop shutting the fuck up about Ark and I'm actually playing Ark.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's when you know. Yeah. But
I'd say something that's more comforting though. Like League is not comforting. If we're going comforting fallback on, I'd say more like
Pillars of Eternity.
Baldur's Gate.
Pillars of Eternity or Baldur's Gate. I mean, that's how I got so many hours in Pillars of Eternity. Just want to remind everyone, I am in the top 10 most hours put into Pillars of Eternity in the world.
In the world. He's
globally.
That's a leaderboard, folks.
He's the Duke of Pillars of Eternity hours.
He's on the leaderboard. Take that, Elon. Fucking. Yeah, mine would be Star Wars Rebellion if we're doing happy comforting. Yeah, that game feels like home.
So what's Nyanko ask? Or you answered, Amanda, right?
Yeah,
I was gonna say my more comforting one is probably ESO.
ESO, yeah. That I got a really good feeling when you guys gave me your comfort games, and a really bad feeling when you just inside in my soul when we said our coping games. I hope everyone else felt that. Listening. Nyanko asks, do you like shooting bows IRL in flat screen games or in VR games? And he mentions Hollow Point, Twisted Arrow, Raw Data, Dead Effect 2 VR. I went to Emilio's house and we played like a barbarian game where you shot bows and arrows, and it was so fun. I was like, oh yeah.
Was that the one where you smashed the barbarians in the arena?
And it was like a Gorn.
Gorn.
It's a good one.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah, but otherwise,
I don't like the arrows in that. I actually don't like the bow and arrow in Gorn. It feels so clunky and weird.
I have not heard of a single one of the games that Nyanko mentions here. I've not heard of any of them. I assume they must be VR games. I to answer his question, I do like shooting bows. I've shot them in real life and found that fun, if way more difficult than I expected. It's really hard to shoot a bow.
It is.
I have
Both
my
compound and recurve are
I
hard.
only have done compound, but I do have my Scouts badge for
Ooh.
bow and arrow. So
I
in a zombie
have-
apocalypse, count on me to rely on skills when I was 11 years old to save us.
I was in
Yeah.
the Scouts as well. Back in my day, they only allowed boys. Now it's just Scouts.
How everyone
yeah.
can be. Yeah.
I wish I could have been a scout growing up instead of making socks and little like animal
These
companions
fucking
and
scouts.
yeah.
Now that I have a daughter, all this gendered bullshit, I fucking hate it. Like every time I see something gendered, there's this commercial like "Run Like a Girl." That shit makes me fucking cry,
What?
dude. Yeah.
Unlike
So it starts
tell
off.
me what it's for.
I think it's
Thought
a
it was-
PSA. I don't know,
Okay.
or it might be for like Nike or something. I can't remember.
I think
but
it's Nike.
Basically, it starts off and they're asking these young girls and young boys to run like a girl, and they just run as fast as they can normally, and then they start asking older kids to run like a girl, and the boys are making fun of the girl. They're running like fucking pansies, basically,
Right.
and the girls are also running very dainty like and
Really?
and
Yeah.
ladylike.
The girls
Yeah.
are also doing the
And it gets
quote-unquote
worse.
girly run.
It gets worse the older they get. When they're teenagers, it's the most extreme. But even when they're like 11, and that shit breaks my fucking heart,
Yeah,
dude.
it does. But the little kids just run as fast as they can.
As
Well,
fast
yeah.
as they can, and you see it on their face.
Ah.
They're so determined, and you're like, that is what I want to stoke in
That
every single
breaks
person
my
I meet.
heart.
Yeah,
That breaks my heart that even the girls are doing it.
older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're under the same effect and pressure
whole
as
system.
the whole
Yeah.
fucking world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Right.
sorry for that bird walk.
It's just my life, bro. Anyway.
Yeah.
I also like shooting bows in flat screen games. They are often a fun weapon
Yeah.
option, or in games where it's the only weapon option. Still fun, and crossbows. I'll include crossbows in that. Love shooting bows in Baldur's Gate. In Baldur's Gate 1, they are so strong. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
When bows
Yeah.
are the main weapon, like in Horizon Zero Dawn, do you still view it as an FPS?
No.
Yes.
To me, no. I kind of view it almost as like maybe the mage, because a lot of times when you go full main of archery, it's typically with some like druid or nature type things attached to it, and that makes me feel like it's a little more in line with like if that was a staff and it was a mage instead of a gun. But I guess, I guess still.
No, I don't.
FPS is
I
in
don't
first person
associate
shooter.
First
FPS.
person shooter. You're still shooting a bow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like if you're
Doesn't
playing
have to be a
Overwatch,
gun, in my
you're-
mind.
if you're
true.
playing
That would be more of a
Overwatch,
shooter. Yeah.
or if you're playing like a Doom like game and it's magic instead of guns, it's an FPS.
Still FPS.
I can see that. Yeah, yeah.
What
Do
else would you
bow-
call it?
Do bowmen/archers in RTS or RPGs play differently enough from other units or classes?
Yes.
Yeah. What are you talking
Like
about?
massively differently.
Yeah.
That you can
Have
micro
hugely different uses.
you micro around English longbowmen in Age of Empires 2. They take so
Dude,
long to hit the ground.
Good freaking luck trying to beat a Warriors of Chaos army in Total War Warhammer 3 with no bowmen.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, good fucking
again,
luck,
Baldur's Gate
Nyonko.
1, the
Yeah.
archer rules supreme.
This whole question
Archers
reads
are
like
great.
he hates bows and arrows for some reason. Nyonko, do you have something against ye old? Or maybe he loves them.
I was gonna say I'm reading this as like he loves
I think
arrows,
it's
and
the
yeah,
opposite. I think he loves
I think
bows
he
and
loves
arrows.
them. I think he goes archer all the time when he can.
When
And
I
then
met him
he
in
posted some
person,
gifs
he
of-
did have the bow and
big-
arrow tattoo on his forehead. Dead giveaway.
Oh.
I should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
He's
checks
also
out.
posted several gifs of like hot anime girls shooting bows. So
Okay. So that's
To his
a
heart, Cupid.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right to his- Funny. From YouTube, Workonia says, first, if you listen to this episode in reverse, it turns out to be the recipe for cold fusion. What the fuck is Workonius talking about?
I think it was the last one. You know, something to do with 1,000 times resist. That's how he's resisting. He's building cold fusion. I don't know.
He's referencing the back in the day when, like, if you listen to Metallica or one of those bands the record backwards, it was satanic.
Oh,
That was the whole thing.
Well, we do carefully curate the script of these shows to have a secret message. So you should try.
Every show carries a secret message, but I will say the method that the secret message is contained in is different every show.
Yes.
So it's not always going to be like played in reverse or, take every third word that Taylor says in a show to get the message. It changes.
It changes. And listen to it underwater, listen all sorts of locations.
That's been one of them.
Sometimes we just give out freebies, and that's what this one is. It's just titties. So there you go. Oh, spoiled it. Ruined it. Sorry, guys. Brought the titties back.
Titty. You know what?
All right.
What's the plug this week?
The plug this week was Bobby's birthday.
Bobby's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Bob.
Bobby. I'm going to take this opportunity to also plug to leave Steam reviews more often.
Yeah. Yes. And if you hear a game from this
in that community.
Yes. And if you hear a game from this podcast that you like, you can always hashtag it DLG bump.
Yes. That was what I was getting to too. Yes. If you decide to leave a review for a game or mention a game that you heard about from us, we'd really appreciate it if you would hashtag DLG bump. That helps us quite a bit.
But spend more than 5 minutes in the game.
Yeah, don't be that asshole who spends 5 minutes, puts out a negative review, and then puts DLG bump. We don't want to be associated with that.
Yeah. Spend 2 hours in the game, then leave a negative review. Then DLG bump.
That's right.
No, leave a positive review that's full of negative comments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Amanda. And who are we shouting out this week?
We're shouting out Truthbringer every time going to bring it. So thank you very much, Truthbringer, for being our executive producer.
I've been thinking about this, and I wonder if Truthbringer could be a brought to you by. Like, what is our community up to? Brought to you by Truthbringer.
Oh,
I like
different way to mention him.
Different, yeah. Maybe he's
Spice
getting bored of this.
Let him sponsor a segment.
Yeah. Let him sponsor a segment. Let him put a little message in there. Yeah.
If you have an idea of something you'd like, a segment you'd like sponsored, Truthbringer, let us know.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, that's an episode, guys, officially. My name is Amanda. Joining us today was Christian and Taylor. Tune in next week because Christian is going to go from father to master in Masters of Albion. And Taylor, what's the music that we're playing us out today?
All right. Playing us out is some sweet cyberpunk-inspired tunes called Ignition Overdrive. Goodbye. The nightclub in Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk and the nightclub in Starfield.